What's up, guys? Corbin from Circa 2020. So we have the EDC showdown kicking off right now, but make sure you stay tuned for kind of after we do the EDC thing where I tell you what the best firearm to bring in your home at night, because it is not that personal carry 9mm or any semi-automatic pistol that you keep in your truck or in your pocket or on your side, wherever it's at. Don't bring it in and defend your house with it at night. There is a better option. We'll see you. So battle of the concealed carry. We got the SIG P365 here, have it mounted in. I'm just gonna pull up, take a few shots and see how they feel that first to second shot and see how it feels getting on target with this, the Canik TP9SC and the Taurus G2S. Not bad for trying to rush them. That actually felt pretty good. I just wish the front sight was a little taller on this one because of the fact that you kind of lose it when you pull up. Now with the SC, wonder if we can stick this one back in here just for the sake of, yeah, good enough. I actually think I like the way this feels first to second shot a lot better. It's a little bit bigger gun, so you're gonna have your downside of carrying it concealed, but as far as getting the shot up, getting the second shot off, I think it's a little quicker than the 365, at least it felt quicker. But the 365 was really nice. Actually, I think it fired a little smoother, and for some reason it felt like it had less recoil, even though this is a bigger, heavier firearm. So I'm gonna set this one down and grab the G2S, press check, just stick that in there for now. I tell you what, guys, for the money that these G2S's cost, absolutely fantastic. I think the trigger is very much on par with the other two. Maybe a little bit longer pull, but definitely on par. And accuracy wise at this distance, of course, what are we, 5 yards?
15 feet.
Yeah, 5 yards. It feels pretty good. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about each one then. But for right now, I think they all three are great at what they do. The Taurus, I feel, is really easy to get up and get on target. One reason is because it's a single stack. One reason is because of I think it's a must to have these magazine extensions on. It just lets you get more hand on it and get up. Fiber optic front sight helps out. All three of them have that. So yeah, guys, really with either one you can't go wrong, but there's a huge price difference from one to the next to the next. So we'll talk about that then. We'll see you.
Not too bad. That first shot.
Yeah, till you figured out where it was. Is
Yeah,
that the first time you shot that SC?
Yeah, it's first rounds ever out of it.
I would say that's not bad. I never put one in.
Whoa, that one went off without me knowing it. Two bad ones, that one and that one. That one there, I really...
Yeah, you touched off. I did that the first time I shot the SF.
They aren't bad.
No.
Shooting.
Hey guys, so we're on the way home from the range, and I was gonna wait till we got home, but looking at what I got going on the rest of the day, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to cut the rest of this video quickly. So I wanted to bring some content every time I go to the range, because I don't get out to the range as much as I want. Everybody says that, but it's the truth. I mean, maybe once every 2-3 weeks is all I seem to get out anymore, especially now that it's deer season, and you know, a lot of my extra time's taken up with the tree stand, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But to get the range action, to get the footage, concealed carry nines, like, there's some crazy statistics out there that since COVID, 110,000 Californians bought their first gun. There's been over 1 million firearms sold since COVID started. And I would be willing to bet that definitely an overwhelming majority, if not a lot of them, you know, 60, 70, 80%, were first-time gun owners or people who don't own a ton of guns, who are going out and buying a concealed carry 9mm, something that they're very comfortable with shooting, or very comfortable with owning, I should say, and they will keep that in their car and keep it on their side. Women keep it in their purse, whatever. And there's something that I want to encourage you to do. You have to get out and shoot that firearm. If you don't get out and shoot that firearm, you are useless with it. My grandfather, you know, included in this video here, he's been shooting pistols for years, for decades. And still, it's not, you know, subcompact 9mm, concealed carry 9mm are not very easy to be super accurate with, even at the distance of 15 feet. So you have to get out and shoot that firearm and at least become somewhat proficient with it till you're comfortable taking those shots and comfortable drawing the weapon, getting on target, landing the first 2 shots on a tactical hit. You know, that 12-inch target, to me, that's a tactical hit. If I'm going center mass and I hit anywhere on that target, that's a tactical hit. That is going to slow down and stop with the second shot the threat that is coming. So you need to get out. You have to do that. As far as the weapons that we went through, guys, I don't care what you buy. The Taurus, you can find that Taurus for under $300. You can find that Canik for right under $400, and you can find that SIG for 5, 6, you know, in there. So definitely for a budget channel, I'm going to tell you to buy the Taurus. And to be quite frank with you, that pistol performed just as good, if not, it performed very well. I don't want to say it performed better than the SIG, because the SIG is just absolute butter. The Canik SC did fantastic. All 3 guns were great at what you would use them for. Great. You can't go wrong buying any of them. If you want to spend $300 or less, buy the Taurus, for sure. If your budget goes up to $400, maybe a little bit more, you got to toss it up between the Taurus and some ammo or buying that Canik. The Canik is fantastic. The only downside to that Canik at all is that it's a little bit bigger than the other 2. The slide's a little bit wider. The handle, the grip is a little bit longer. So if you're a bigger person, hiding that firearm is no problem. The SC is no problem it won't really print on you with the right holster. The G2S, however, especially without the magazine extension, you can hide in your front pocket. Very, very small gun. And the trigger on all 3, fantastic. There was a little bit of trigger work done to the SC. There were some slight modifications to that firearm. It was not 100% stock, but it still was, you know, stock enough that it wasn't any kind of a race gun or competition gun or anything like that. And it performed really well. The SIG, I'm a budget guy, so I'm gonna say this, and I don't want to turn anybody off who owns SIGs, but I do have to say this. I don't see any reason to go out and spend a few hundred or twice as much as the Taurus to buy a P365 from SIG SAUER or any SIG SAUER firearm if you don't have to or if you don't want to. It didn't outperform the other 2. It was negligible to, you know, talk about a $200, $300, $400 price difference. Probably not 400, but double the price difference from the Taurus. It didn't outshoot the Taurus that much. Now there are people out there who won't buy a Taurus and they'll only buy the SIGs and the Smiths and the, you know, the top brands, and that's fine. That's why those firearm companies are still in business. At the end of the day, you buy what you want to buy. I will recommend any one of those 3 firearms, and I will say that you can't go wrong buying any of them. But if you are a budget-minded person, that Taurus G2S or C is an absolutely fantastic firearm. It did everything that the other 2 did, just as good. The trigger is phenomenal for that much gun. Can't say enough about it. Going on to the second part of the video, you're gonna see why, if you're a first-time firearm owner and you went out and bought that subcompact 9mm, or you went out and bought whatever, and you think you have one firearm that you can bring into the house at night and set in your nightstand or set in a cool pistol safe or something like that, and you're gonna get up and defend your home with it, that's okay. It's good to have something, but it's not the best for that job, not even close to the best for that job. So what I want to encourage you to do is hang on, don't click off that, because we have something to show you, and I'll be right back to talk to you about why that is a superior choice to using the same concealed carry pistol that you have on your side or in your truck or in your car all day, to not use that if you have a home invasion at night. All right, guys, so we talked about some concealed 9s and why they're awesome, but a lot of guys like to take one 9mm, go out, buy it, put it on their side, put it in their truck, put it in their nightstand, and there isn't one weapon that does everything great. That concealed 9 works great for pulling it out of your shirt and taking care of, you know, an issue in front of you, 5-10 yards at the most, but 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, that all takes time. Real quick, while the rain's falling, I'm going to show you one way to defend your house at night and to take care of that entire target within no time. So you guys see it. That was real quick. You don't even have to aim that well. I just picked the target and went. That's a big hole, that's a big hole, that's a big hole. In the same amount of time as it took to make 3 decent pistol shots, you have completely 1000% taken away the issue at hand, and your home is safe again. So we'll talk more about a good home defense weapon here in a little, but for now, I think we need to get out of the rain. All right, so as you just saw, quick work, guys. There has never been a night in my house since I've purchased that TAC 14 and did the modifications that I did to it, that has not been my absolute go-to for home defense. I believe that using a shotgun, whether it's a 20 gauge or 12 gauge for home defense, is the best idea you can have. And some people will use AR, some people will have pistols specifically designed with lights and lasers and everything else, and that's fine. But as you can tell, for the same amount of time that it takes to get 3 rounds off with a pistol, or 3 rounds off, round about the same amount of time that it takes to get 3 rounds off a semi-automatic pistol or rifle, you can pump 3 rounds out of that shotgun and do a lot more damage. And the number one important thing for me, if you're using buckshot or birdshot, you won't have to worry about that round continuing to go through walls. You won't have to worry about what's in the 3rd room or what's outside of your house. You can just take care of the target, because those BBs have plenty of power to go through flesh, you know, that kind of stuff, ballistics gel, we can say, but they're not going to go through drywall and 2x4s and continue to keep going. They will lose all their energy after they make their first hit, and then after that, you're pretty much safe. So guys, it doesn't have to be the TAC 14. It could be the Mossberg Shockwave, I believe it is. There could be a lot of things that, you know, a lot of other shotguns that you can build, a lot of shotguns that you can buy. But for a good home defense weapon, I like to always put this in, because so many people go out, buy one pistol, their first ever gun, or their first ever pistol, and they think that that's the only thing they need. And then when a situation happens inside the confines of their house, and they have to make a really, really good on-point shot, they haven't practiced enough to use it. You could be practically blind and be able to hit something with a shotgun with buckshot or birdshot in it. So, guys, Corbin from Circa 2020, let me know what you think. Subscribe. We're going to do some modifications of the shotgun soon, so stay tuned, and we'll see you.